Good evening. Welcome to the April 22nd, 2026 regular session of the Board of Education. This is Joe Cilio, President of the Board of Education speaking. Thank you for attending in person or through Zoom. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Due notice that the meeting has been provided to the public and each member of the Board of Education is required by law. I'm going to take attendance. Joe Cilio, President. Present. Kristen Pappas, Vice President. Liz Gaffney, Trustee. Aaron Diebrich, Trustee.
Present.
Deborah Kupani, Trustee.
Present.
Dr. Kusum Sinha, Superintendent of Schools. Dana DeCapua, Assistant Superintendent for Business and Finance and District Clerk.
Present.
Nanine McLaughlin, Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources and Leadership Development.
Present.
Dr. Alice Bowman, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction.
Present.
Kyla Cherney, ex-officio student member of the Board of Education.
Present.
Christy Jacobson, District Council, Gersio and Gersio.
Present.
Great, thank you. May I have a motion to accept the agenda for April 22nd, 2026 regular session as presented?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Dr. Sinha and Winter, comment
Yes.
first.
At this meeting, we'll be recognizing actually, we're very proud to recognize our outstanding student athletes from our winter season. Their dedication, teamwork, and perseverance were on full display, both on and off the field, balancing demands of athletics and academics. There's no small task, and these students have done it with commitment and hard work. We would like to congratulate our students for a fantastic season, and I would like to invite Mr. Ramirez, our athletic director, so he can introduce our teams and our coaches.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Once again, it's my honor to be here tonight to recognize our outstanding our student athletes for the winter season. Before I get into them, I just want to thank the Board of Education, Dr. Sinha, our high school and district administration. Without their support, I don't know if our student athletes get to reach the peak that they do. It takes a base of support to get to that level. So thank you for your support. We have some outstanding athletes and accomplishments here. This is my fourth year, and every year I feel like I'm up here saying that something was done that was never done before, which amazes me because I feel like when I look at records, there's not much that hasn't been done by Garden City. But this year we have a couple new ones, so I'm proud to present that. We're going to start with our girls indoor track. Not unfortunately, but they are traveling to the Penn Relays this weekend, so they're not here. But I do want to acknowledge them. We had two members of the indoor girls track team that went on to states, Kira Lakanitas and Taylor McGuire. Kira was the 600-meter county champ and was the all-state finisher. She finished fifth at the state championships in a minute 33:65. That's 3 times around the track in under a minute and a half, which is insane. Taylor McGuire ran on the intersection relay team, finishing in 6th place, earning all-state honors as well. Both of them will be competing next week at the New Balance Nationals. I believe it's in Boston. So congratulations to both those athletes. Our next athlete, and I'd like to call him up here, is Anthony Pica. Come on down, Anthony. So our coach could not be here tonight. He just had a baby girl this week. So he's doing daddy duties, but he did call me and wanted to make sure I gave some great information. I could read about Anthony, but I can do it off the top of my head. I'm going to start with Anthony. This year had an outstanding year. He had 100 wins, career wins. He was a 2nd place finisher at the Nassau County Championships, went on to states. What most impressed me about Anthony is a 5-year varsity starter, but he battled the injury bug for most of his high school career. And a lot of times that can discourage you. Anthony came in this year with the mental toughness that he was going to forget what happened in the past, focus on staying strong through the season, and had an outstanding year. He will be continuing his college career at Franklin and Marshall, We look forward to watching him compete their outstanding year. Congratulations, Anthony. And you probably can't tell right now, but Anthony competed at 150 pounds. All right, our next group of athletes is our boys indoor track team, here with Coach Dreyer, who I'd like to ask to come up, along with Damian Chang, Brendan Wild, Chris Byrne, and Charles Lewin. Please come up. So we have 4 young men up here that were part of the 4x400 relay and won the Nassau County Championships and advanced to the states as state qualifiers. That in itself is a tremendous accomplishment. We'll give it up for them. So I'm going to, just so when I call your name, just take a step forward so people know who's who. So Brendan, we got Damian, Chris, and Charles. Pretty much dominated throughout the indoor track season, and the best part of it is I believe 3 out of the 4 are underclassmen and will be returning, if I'm not mistaken. So the expectations are there. Charles also was the 600-meter champion and finished 5th at the state championships with a time of 1:22.19. We're looking forward to the spring season and what they can do. Outstanding performance by all. And I want to just give a little shout out here to Coach Dreyer. Not a man of many words, but a man of many hours. He puts in a lot of time with these young men, both in the winter and the spring. A lot of work goes into getting them to peak performances week in and week out at each invitational, and that doesn't happen without his work. So thank you, Coach. Congratulations to all 4 of you.
Do you guys want to go?
No pressure. All right. Our next team and individuals are from the varsity boys swimming and dive team. So if I could have them and Coach Sullivan up here. So, yes.
Oh, it's wire. Oh, good idea. That's a wire on. That's
Just
thank you
wanted
for
to-
the suggestion. Thank you. Yeah.
Always open to how to improve. So I appreciate that. There we go. So we have here members of our 200 freestyle relay and some individuals. And we're missing one, but I'm going to call everybody out. You can take a step forward so we know who everyone here is. Liam Hardy, Jack Ahern, Ethan Lee, Kevin McMaster, and our diving extraordinaire, Julian Cramp. So a lot of accomplishments here. So I did take notes. It's hard to remember everything. So we have the 200 freestyle relay team here who qualified for the state championships, competed up in, I think it was Webster, Ithaca. Had an outstanding performance, dominated during the season here on the island. That team is Jack, Ethan, Kevin, and Liam. Okay. All state qualifiers. Liam also was a state qualifier in the 500 freestyle and the 200 free. Okay. We have Kevin, Take a step forward, Kevin, here. Kevin was also a state qualifier and placed as all-state 15th place at the New York State Championships in the 50 freestyle. Congratulations. And we have Julian. Julian was an all-county and all-state diver last year. Returned again this year, was a all-county and all-state finisher. He finished third this year at the state championships with a combined score of 511. Congratulations. What I always amazes me about the swimming team here for the boys and girls, they practice at 6 a.m. They get up every morning, get themselves to the pool, practice for an hour before, pretty much before anyone's up and thinking about their work day. That amazes me. It's the little things that go on behind the scenes. We always see the accomplishments and the great things, but there's a lot that goes into it. The level of commitment and dedication for our swimmers and divers is amazing. So congratulations on your accomplishments. Coach Sullivan, another successful year. Our next group is a rather large group, so I'm going to have them come up, and then I'll start talking as soon as they get up here, and that's our county championship girls basketball team. So as they come up, the girls basketball team captured a Nassau County Class AA championship with an impressive 63-45 victory over an undefeated MacArthur High School. This was the program's first county championship since 2013. Yes. Big round of applause. They finished the season 19-5. All right. Went on to the Long Island Championships and put out an outstanding performance against a very good West Hampton Beach team. What I'll say about the program on a whole, not just this team, in the 4 years that I've been here, another example of persevering, facing adversity. The journey has not always been easy for the program and coach. They've stumbled in some areas, gotten better in other areas, but eventually got where they wanted to go. Win a county championship. It's a very young team. We look forward to the coming years building on that. I'm confident in that. No pressure. I'm confident in that. I'm going to introduce the members of the team before I speak about the coaches. When I call your name, step forward. Grace Brantuck, Maddie Baroya, Leah Costa, Audrey Donahue, Lily Gaffney, Charlotte Kenny, Juju Classic, Captain Kennedy Palmer, Caitlin Parker, Captain Marissa Patrici, Abigail Parisa, Captain Caitlin Santo Pietro, Hannah Steer, Stella Trohouse, and Angela Vorkis. So I want to commend Coach Balillo, aside from the work that he puts in, his forward thinking in developing a schedule this year that was incredibly difficult. So when you see a record of 19-5 against some teams that go 18-0 going into the championship, the difference was Coach Balillo put a schedule where we were playing teams from Syracuse, we were playing some of the top private schools, we were playing some of the AAA schools that were in previous champions. And he did that with a goal in mind to put them through the fire before they got to the playoffs, so that when they got there, they faced the best that they were going to face. So again, Coach Balillo, thank you for that. I also want to give a lot of credit to our staff that works with Coach Balillo. Jada Ponte, who joined us about 2 years ago, has been a big addition to the program, and Mr. Chapudian, who is the JV coach, but spends a lot of time with the varsity team during the playoff. A lot of individual accolades. I won't go into that. We had about 5 or 6 of our student athletes earned all county and different awards. Congratulations to all of them. Tonight, we're going to focus on it as a team. your 2026 Nassau County champion varsity girls basketball. Congratulations.
Do it. Reflection on that. Oh, yeah, go down there.
Coach Balillo, next year we work on that. Oh, one of the plays. All right, so our last student athlete, and I saved her for last on purpose, Charlotte Seabrath. Charlotte here with Coach Soper. And I'm not sure, I don't think Coach Wilkinson could make it. She also had a baby, so congratulations to her. So the reason I saved Charlotte for last, Charlotte's very modest, so I don't know if she's going to like me talking about her this much, but I am. Charlotte did two things that were never done here in Garden City. She won state championship in 2 different events in gymnastics. Yes, big round of applause. And before I even get reading into the specifics, she also was Nassau County's Gymnast of the Year on Newsday, which was another first. She delivered a historic performance, capturing 2 New York State Championships individual titles, placing 4th all around at the New York State Championships as a junior, 4th all around. She became the first Garden City gymnast to win state championships in the sport. She earned state honors, placing 7th on the floor exercise. She earned all state honors, placing 8th on the balance beam. She won a New York State championship on the vault with a score of 9,750 and was a state champion on the bars with a nearly perfect score of 9,775. So all state in 4 different events. One thing you'll know about Charlotte, if you go to watch her, very humble, very modest, doesn't really, you would never know that she's a level 10 gymnast, which is the highest level you can reach at this age group. Phenomenal performance this year, phenomenal young lady. More importantly, the way she carries herself and represents Garden City. You see her with her teammates, zero ego, zero flaunting her abilities or bragging about them. It's great to see in an era when you turn on ESPN that all you do is see celebrations. She doesn't do that. She just goes about her business and wins championships. So congratulations to Charlotte. And I want to acknowledge Coach Soper, who stepped up this year and helped Charlotte at the state championships, traveled with her and coached her up at the state championships. So thank you, Coach Soper. Phenomenal year. And she's a junior, so she'll be back. And before I hand the mic over, I did want to thank one other person who's not here, but I definitely want to mention him, and that's Mr. Navarro, our athletic trainer, who works so closely with all these individuals and teams, getting them through the season. A lot of times, you deal with injuries, adversities physically. He not only attends to them to get them better, he's involved with communicating with parents to give them direction, the rehab, proactive training. He's just phenomenal. And a lot of times he's the reason that these athletes get back on the floor or on the court or on the mat safely and ready to go. So just wanted to acknowledge him and thank him. And thank you again to everyone for your support. And thank you to our athletes. Have a great night.
Thank you again to our students. What a great winter season you all had, and we're so very, very proud of you. I'm sure you want to get home, but you can. Mr. Ramirez, do you want to talk about our other, about the podcast we did with our student athletes?
All right. So earlier this month, we had the opportunity, thanks to Dr. Sinha and her relationship through a superintendent's board, we were able to sit with Mr. Robert Vecchio for his podcast, Spotlight on Long Island Schools. We invited 4 students that played multiple sports to come and sit and talk through the interview with Mr. Vecchio. We had Avery Smith, who plays field hockey and lacrosse. We had Kim Colucci, who plays tennis and lacrosse. Joe Carey, basketball and baseball, and we had Matt Yehoda, who is on the basketball team. They all had individual stories to tell and experiences, and we focused on really what they've gained from participating in Garden City athletics. And they talked about the influence of great coaches, growing up in Garden City, learning to manage their time between academics and athletics, holding themselves to high expectations on the field, but also academically. And they talked about how well balanced that is here at Garden City. And more importantly, how Garden City has prepared them for college and life moving forward. They talked about the characteristics of respect, perseverance, work ethic, all these things that we, want them to pick up through our athletic program. Dr. Sinha spoke about our philosophy of athletics being an extension of the classroom, and what it produces when the programs are run right and when kids take advantage of the opportunities. I do want to focus on one young man who was on here because his story was a little unique. And I just want to say I did ask permission from his parents to share his story because I just think it's an exceptional one to tell. So Matt Yehoda is a senior who is a member of our JV basketball team in 9th and 10th grade. And he talked a lot about this during the podcast. Junior year, he came in thinking it was a given. He was going to make the team. He got cut. And he said he was beside himself. It was the worst moment of his high school career. He was distraught. He went home. His first instinct, obviously, like any teenager, is everything else, not looking at himself. His brother, who went through the program here, pulled him aside and said, "That's enough. This is what you're going to do. You're going to get yourself together. You're going to figure out what you can do to better yourself. You're going to look inward." And his words were, "This is going to define you. This moment's going to define you. How you handle it, what you do from here on." And the best part about it is the family bought in. They didn't call. They didn't blame. They told Matt it was his opportunity to see what he was about and persevere through this. Matt talked about playing more basketball than he ever did. By not making the team, he signed up for 3 outside leagues. He said, ironically, I played more basketball than I did my whole life. Fast forward a year, he puts 12 months of work in. Matt comes out to tryouts. He said he had matured as a person. He had matured on his outlook as athletics and what the purpose of athletics is. He had no intentions to play in college, but he wanted to make the team and, what he had put in for 12 months. He makes the team. He was very proud of himself. Not only did he make the team, he went on to be a starter. He went on to be All-County, lead the team in scoring, and was selected to the Nassau County Senior All-Star Game. The reason I like to share that story is because, as I tell our kids and I tell our parents, this is it. It's great when things are going well, you're starter, it's easy. It's hard when things don't go well. But the real opportunity and growth, and the line that Matt used was, growth comes from Thank you. He said real growth comes from struggle. This is a high school young man using this line. And he's absolutely right. The opportunity to find out about yourself, to grow, to figure out how you are in terms of character, perseverance, all those things that we want. This is the time. If you're going to fail, it's in high school when you have relatives and family behind you to support you and guide you through. And that was the biggest opportunity that he talked about when they gave him the mic is the impact of getting cut and how that serviced him to make him better. And I love that story. I'll share it until I retire because it's something that needs to be heard. I'm glad that he's proud about it. It speaks a lot about his ability to just communicate that and not be embarrassed that he was cut. He saw it as a highlight of his career and a highlight of his life at this point. So this episode is airing on May 23rd at 10:30 a.m. It's Spotlight on Long Island Schools. These young men and women, again, represent us the way they speak about their experiences, the way they communicate, their plans moving forward, colleges and things they plan on doing, and how this experience here at Garden City impacted them is something to be proud of. So I am extremely proud of them, and I look forward to hearing them on the radio. Thank you for the opportunity, Dr. Senator.
There's one more item about athletics is we recently have, our fields are in use. So we had our ribbon cutting ceremonies. We had three of those for baseball, softball, and our multipurpose field. And they were actually really nice events because the kids were, they cut the ribbon, the teams, and it was pretty special. And they're full use, and the kids are very, very happy to have the new fields.
Maybe moving on to the treasurer's report.
Thank you. This is the treasurer's report for February 2026. We had a cash balance at the beginning of the month of $67,480,191. During February, we had receipts of $776,527. We had disbursements in February of $7,642,406, leaving us with a closing balance of $60,614,272. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. DeCappa. Now I'm going to hand it over to the student member of the board for her report.
Yeah, we had a really exciting month. So I'll start off with Kertamen. Kertamen is something that the high school does where there is a group of students who take Latin or don't take Latin but have a interest in it, and then they go compete at Ivy League schools. So they just recently did a competition at UPenn, and there's a whole different grade levels, and they participated. They also went to Yale and went to Princeton. So those are really great. I also participated in that, and we have a really fun time there. Dr. Akil Amar also visited the high school. He runs a government podcast where he talks about government from 1960s to present day. He wrote a book that all the AP Gov students read sections of, and we were able to ask him questions, and you can listen to his podcast where we are featured, and he's also talking about all the things that we discussed with him. Also, there was an art show last night. They had the most amount of attendees ever, from what I was told. This is from the AP Art portfolio. So these girls and boys are working on their art all year, and then they presented at the art show, and that went amazing. I'd also like to say that Woodstick is May 2nd, and we're very excited about that. And May 1st is a big day for everybody. May 1st is College Decision Day. So the seniors will be wearing the shirts of what colleges they're going to. And then at the middle school, the 8th grader is also going to Adventureland on May 1st, which is my favorite part of middle school from what I remember. There was also multiple awards. There was an Italian poetry contest where they scored first, second, third, and singing awards. And then there is state testing beginning next week. And then at Stratford and Stewart, there was the Festival, which is the Spanish program, and 4th and 5th grade students and their families had a fun and engaging night, and they enjoyed crafts, Celestine Kahoot and bingo, and puppet shows and virtual read-alouds, and they were also able to display their projects they had been working on in FLES all year. And then the 5th grade orchestra students visited the high school and got to experience what orchestra will look like in a high school environment. And the Stony Brook University STEM Club is coming to visit Stratford 3rd grade to talk about the projects that is also happening on May 1st. And then also Kusin Sue, her artwork was selected as one of the 87 pieces nationwide to be exhibited at the National Art Educators Association 2026 National Art Honor Society juried exhibition. There were 2,000 pieces submitted, and Kusin's artwork was selected, so congratulations to her.
I'm just going to hand it to you for the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Cilio. Thank you, Kayla. You always give such a great report. We only have a couple more meetings with you left before you leave us for college. I just have a couple of things that I wanted to report on. I also want to congratulate our students at Locust for, again, they'll be competing in first in math. And I have to, I think this is our third year, I believe, third year, and every year Locust always participates, so which is wonderful. Mason Flynn, Riley Urquhart, and William Goldner. And at the competition will be in June, so it's over there. It's live stream, so we can watch that. And Miss Boda has been busy practicing with an down to the wire. Another thing I wanted to mention, this was just, I was at Hemlock, was it now I'm thinking, on Tuesday. And Miss Marr, Erin Marr stopped to share something with me, and it was a parent, it was a parent of our Hemlock student. Her name is Kayla, whose father participated in the Boston Marathon. And I mentioned this is because this is how Miss Marr tracked. They had this way of tracking him, how he was running, 26.2 miles. She made it educational and fun and brought in the community. I mean, this little girl, when I saw her, she was beaming. She was beaming. And we have some pictures up there that you could see of, you know, how the class participated. But they learned about math, about geography, and lots of other fun things. So really want to thank Ms. Marr for making this experience so wonderful for our students. I also wanted to mention, this was a very, very special evening. And it's on the agenda for, we have several 10-year candidates. We have 10 total, 3 administrators and 7 teachers. And I know Ms. Pappas, you were there, Ms. Diebrich. It was a wonderful event, really honoring our staff, our teachers and administrators. So they're on the agenda. We also have, I think Kelly, you mentioned the state assessment started, ELA, this week, and that's going to continue. We also have on the agenda our budget adoption. And can we put that up, Tina? It's just a couple of slides on the budget adoption. Okay. And you have seen all of this before. This is just a very small recap of our proposed budget for 26-27. We're going over this because it's as an agenda item for adoption today. There's, again, mission and vision. We always start with that. Our budget reflects that. And these numbers have not changed. This is our proposed budget is $142,385,117. And it is budget to budget. Increase is 3.36%, and it's within the maximum allowable tax levy of 2.98%. And this you've seen before too. We presented the budget to you in this 3-part with capital administration program. These are the numbers behind those percentages. These are the various codes, and Mr. Capia had reviewed this with throughout each one of the presentations. I'm not going to go over that, but those numbers are the same. They have not changed. And again, our main purpose with our, budget is to really maintain a balance between our fiscal constraints and quality educational offerings. We believe that this budget prioritize our resources for really everything that can touch our students, and again, for operational efficiencies as well. I'm not going to go over this in its entirety, but you can see we developed the budget with these priorities in mind. Get that also. And then on the ballot, this is probably the most important thing. May 19th is our budget vote. We have the school district budget. You have the use of capital reserve, includes reallocation of unused capital funds. We want to establish a new capital reserve, and there'll be election of one Board of Education trustee. And our budget hearing is on May 12th, and followed by the budget vote. I have something.
Oh, so exciting.
No, budget is over, but I had received several communication around homestead class size. So I just wanted to, I know this was reviewed by Ms. McLaughlin at our last budget workshop, but right now, our first grade class, we're at class size at 19.2. So that is, we're very comfortable with that. But we had received some communication, so I wanted to make sure our community, they were aware of that. We also have our kindergarten screening that began on Monday and will continue through May 1st. Students who are attending the Homestead UPK will be screened there. And the outside UPKs with the Harbor Child Care, Our Precious Angels and Mineola, they'll be screened at their current UPK program, and all other students will be screened in their home schools. And then some of the agenda items that we have, we're really pleased this evening on the agenda. We have appointments of 3 administrators on the agenda. And I'd like to introduce them. I know they're here tonight. We have Ms. Jacqueline Rehak. She's on the agenda, recommending her for our Assistant Superintendent for Business and Finance. And if you could stand up, Jack. And just, she brings deep expertise in school finance and operations, along with valuable experience in capital planning and project oversight. So we're looking forward to working with you, Jacqueline. And we also have Ms. Lauren Casada. Could stand up, Lauren Casada. And she's returning to Garden City to be our principal at Homestead School. And she also brings a wonderful experience building leadership, instructional systems, and fostering positive school culture. So we're glad you're back with us, Lauren. And then we also have, all right. We also have Miss Lindsay Ward, and she'll be our new Hemlock principal. And she's also a very known entity here in Garden City. She is a teacher at Stratford, and she also brings instructional expertise, professional development, and real commitment to Garden City. So we're looking forward to having you in this new role, Lindsay. And we also have several appointments for next year. But I also want to introduce Kimberly Miller, who's here. She'll be our high school English teacher. She's also. We also have the BOCES budget and election members. BOCES board, that's on the agenda, which you'll be reviewing shortly. I also wanted to bring to everyone's attention, there's several board policies on the agenda. And Ms. McLaughlin has been working closely with Ms. Jacobson in reviewing policies before we bring them to you. And they're really, most of them are around language, updating language and reviewing them, but there has been no significant changes to those policies, just update on language. There is, this month, we do have a new policy on automated external defibrillators, AEDs. So you'll see this policy is in relation to DESH's law, and it requires school districts to establish a policy on location, training, and use of defibrillators in the district. So a second read of this particular policy will be at this meeting. On the agenda, you also have the adoption of the property tax report card. There's several change orders, and we also have donations on the agenda. We're accepting donation from the Alzheimer's Association of America. They'll be donating books to our primary schools to help explain Alzheimer's to young students who may be experiencing this, at home within their families. We're also accepting donation of a euphonium and marching baritone from the GC Marching Band Parents Association and Garden City Friends of Music and Arts. Again, these instruments are being donated in the name of Bobby Menges, all aware of. student who was part of our marching band, and we lost several years ago. And then the last item I have that I wanted to just mention, we have our CSEA officers here, so I'd like you to stand when I mention your name. Anna Mauricia, she's our president. And we have Jenny Leek, she's our vice president. Joanne Eckert, our treasurer. And I don't know if Camilla is here, Camilla Fabian, who's our secretary. Thank you for being here. And that is it.
I'll hand it to the members of the board for their reports.
I just wanted to make a quick statement about the budget. First, I just wanted to start by thanking Dr. Sinha and the entire administrative team for their thoughtful work that went into developing this year's budget. The level of detail in the presentations has been extremely helpful, not just for the board, but for the community as well, because it clearly shows how the resources are being allocated and how those decisions directly impact our students. Overall, this is a budget that I'm proud to support. It reflects a careful balance between fiscal responsibility and making some meaningful investments that will continue to move our district forward. Some highlights for me, at the school level, the addition of staff positions help us to prepare for the larger 8th grade class that will be entering 9th grade next year. At the same time, the budget prioritizes maintaining smaller class sizes at the elementary and primary level, including some contingency positions if additional sections are needed. This is especially important for our youngest learners who benefit greatly from more individualized attention as they build those foundational skills. The budget also addresses some necessary facility improvements, such as roof replacements. While these may not be glamorous upgrades, I think they're critical to maintaining a safe learning environment. On the instructional side, I'm excited to see the rollout of a new K-2 literacy resource grounded in the science of reading, along with expanded curriculum opportunities at both the middle and high school levels. These include initiatives like writing across the curriculum, financial literacy, studio art, and coursework that supports our new Bloomberg Business Center. And thank you to the support of our community through last year's bond. There are some exciting new spaces that will expand opportunities for our children. There's also a thoughtful approach to instructional technology, particularly the shift toward shared devices at the primary level, which reflects a more balanced approach to screen time in our classrooms. And finally, this budget continues to strengthen our continuum of special education services. It supports programs across all our buildings, from resource room to an integrated co-teaching classrooms to more intensive programs and an expanded life skills program. This helps to ensure that we're meeting the diverse needs of our students. I appreciate the focus on supporting teachers in areas like music for students with more intensive needs. I think this budget reflects our shared commitment to our students, staff, and the community, and I believe that it positions the district well for the year ahead. So I just want to thank you.
Thank you. I would just echo that and say, Mrs. DiCaprio, thank you. I know this is, I think it's our 4th year together, but I know it's your last budget, so appreciate all the hard work. I know you bear a lot of the effort that goes behind the presentations. Thank you. At this time, are there any citizens' questions or comments?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Joy Jen Kunis. I'm the Vice President of Legislation for the Garden City PTA, and I'll be making a statement tonight on behalf of the Executive Committee of the Garden City PTA. The Executive Committee of the Garden City PTA would like to thank the administration for their hard work in preparing the 2026-2027 school budget and the Board of Education for their careful review of the budget. We appreciate the engaging and thoughtful presentations explaining this year's budget with consideration paid to the concerns of our community. Thank you to the members of our community who attended these budget presentations, asked questions of the administration and the board, and showed an active interest in the future of our schools. As parents, our role as public education advocates cannot be overstated, and we must remain engaged in the school budget process by speaking on behalf of our students here and with our elected representatives. We understand that there are many challenges in preparing a school budget and submitting it for inspection and approval via a public vote. The school's budget must uphold our community's high expectations for quality public education while maintaining the board's commitment to not exceed the allowable tax levy of 2.98%. This year's proposed budget achieves these goals, which is commendable at a time when other districts are seeking to pierce their tax levy caps. Once again, we are pleased to note that over 75% of this year's proposed budget is devoted to program expenses. As parents, we appreciate seeing the fruits of previous year's capital expenditures, including but not limited to the high school athletic addition and new turf fields and air conditioning installation at the primary, elementary, and middle schools. We look forward to the completion of the proposed air conditioning project at the high school and roof replacements for the 3 remaining district buildings. We commend the district on its proposal to establish a new $11 million capital reserve fund as security to finance future building renovations and infrastructure needs without the need to reduce programming for our students. We are encouraged by the district's commitment to implement a new literacy program for grades K-5 next year as a culmination of the community's request to prioritize literacy. We also applaud the district's addition and expansion of the personal finance curriculum for the high school and middle school to prepare our older learners for the future, as well as the updated high school classrooms for business, art, and physics. We are pleased to see the thoughtful consideration of parent concerns regarding class size with the planned addition of teaching personnel at the high school to accommodate the rising demographic bubble. As we encounter and incorporate AI into our daily lives, we appreciate the district's ongoing efforts at all levels to teach students how to leverage AI tools while encouraging independent thinking. Likewise, we support the district's thoughtful review regarding the use of technology and devices for our youngest learners. The proposed budget continues the Garden City School District's commitment to inspire and challenge students to accomplish their personal best, while also maintaining the board's commitment to fiscal responsibility. The Executive Committee of the Garden City PTA strongly supports the 2026-2027 school budget. We urge all community members to vote yes for the budget, use of existing capital reserve, and establishment of a new capital reserve on May 19th in support of our children, public education, and community. We appreciate all of the Board of Education's current and continuing efforts to meet the challenges ahead, and we encourage you to continue to work collaboratively with parents through the PTA and SEPTA to tackle future challenges to our budget together. Thank you on behalf of the Executive Committee of the Garden City PTA.
Thank you. At this time, if there's no other questions or comments, may I have a motion that the Board of Education adopts the proposed budget in the amount of $142,385,117 for the fiscal year 2026-2027 and adopts the property tax report card?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have several nominees that were submitted to the board for Nassau BOCES 2025-2026, and the board will be casting votes for the following members. May I have a motion that the Board of Education approves the following resolution? Be it resolved, the Board of Education casts its votes for Larry Greenstein and Janine D'Esposito.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Another resolution. Be it resolved, the Board of Education hereby authorizes attorneys Gercio and Gercio LLP to pursue an appeal on behalf from a decision of the U.S. District Court, Eastern District of New York under case number 2:24-CV8328 in the United States Court of Appeals, Second Circuit, including filing of any necessary papers or documents in furtherance thereof.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. To make efficient use of time here, the board has authorized use of the consent agenda. At this time, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda, which includes business of the board's items K1 through K10, personnel matters, items L1 through L8, business matters items M1 through M19, and special education matter N1.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Is the? Yeah. I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the budget. No. Can you hear me read out the $142,117? And I remembered it. So no new business from the administration? From the board? Future Board of Education meetings, May 12th, 2026, Tuesday, 8:15 at the Garden City High School. That's a work session. And the following week, May 19th, a regular session here at 8:15 at the Garden City High School. So if there's no further business before the board, the meeting may be adjourned.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.